Hey guys, Mike here from CMMG, and I would like to take a second and introduce to you Jen Blake. Also goes by
Gun Girl Jen.
Gun Girl Jen. So you can follow her on Instagram. What are all your social media platforms?
So I've got Shooter Jen Blake on Facebook, and then it's Gun Girl Jen on Instagram.
Okay. Do you do anything YouTube yet?
I have it. It's called Gun Girl Jen. I think I have one video.
One video. So, guys, go follow her and tell her to make more videos. But we're happy to have her here with us today because she's now going to be shooting a CMMG for 3-gun competitions. So we are excited to have her on board the CMMG family. And we had her come up and visit us. And we're just going to do kind of a little bit of a Q&A session here so that you guys can get to know her a little bit better and maybe her know us a little better. I don't know if she's going to respond and ask me any questions, but just so you guys know, she does a little bit more than just 3-gun. I mean, she's an instructor. You've got quite a few tools in your bag when it comes to being in the gun industry. So I guess my main question starting off would be, what got you into the gun industry?
So I grew up around firearms. My grandma and dad, went all over the country hunting elk, and so I was always around that. I started squirrel hunting with my dad when I was little, and then when I started selling real estate in my early 20s, I was having to meet people at empty houses. You don't know who they are, so I started carrying a gun, and then I finally actually went and took the class and was like, you know what? I would love to talk about guns all day. So I went to become an NRA instructor, started teaching concealed carry in Ohio, and then from there kept taking classes, became an NRA counselor. So now I actually certify people to become NRA instructors. And then finally met someone who competed, got me in the right direction to start 3-gun. I showed up with just a pistol. I borrowed a rifle and shotgun, flew all the way to Atlanta, and was just hooked. I mean, I got done and I was like, I have to do that again. I came home and I put a rifle on layaway at Walmart, an AR, and so I just started making payments on that, and every 2 weeks I buy a little bit more gear. And
That's awesome. I mean, I think a lot of people think that, I don't know why, but I think people think that you're just kind of thrust into the gun industry when they see people that are in the industry and YouTubers and stuff. And I don't think people really realize that we started somewhere just like they can start too. So, I mean, this is something any of you can do. If you have the opportunity to do what you love, and dealing with firearms, I can't imagine a better job me having right now, because I get to do stuff like this and talk to people like Jen, and I get to travel and do stuff like this too. So it's I consider myself one of the luckiest people on the planet, but I think there's a fair amount of us that also think that.
Yeah.
So.
I used to think that you had to be good, to compete. You just have to know how to use the firearms, know how to be safe, and just go have fun. My first match, I mean, me and people watching were pretty much laughing at me the whole time.
Yeah.
Just stupid little mistakes, but.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the things I definitely recommend too, is if you have an opportunity to go watch one, be a spectator, do it. I mean, you're going to have a lot of fun watching all these people do this. If you have the tools to go try to do it, do it. I'll tell you, the first time you try to go and compete, you're going to be your own worst enemy. I mean, I had been in a lot of personal training and stuff, and I had this mindset that just fast. I got to blaze and speed. And my first time I ever shot IDPA was, I was just going way too fast, wasn't hitting anything. I was tunnel vision, all that stuff. After the first match, or not necessarily the whole match, the first stage, the rest of the stages, I was like, all right, Mike, slow down. You're better than this. Why are you stressed out? It's a piece of paper and a timer, but you can be your own worst enemy.
Oh, so. Yeah. I used to shake when they say, Blake, you're in the hole. I'll be like, and then just the more I did it, that kind of went away a little bit.
Yeah. When it comes to competition shooting, a lot of people don't necessarily realize that there are multiple classes when it comes to shooting. What class do you shoot in, and can you elaborate on what that is?
Yep. I shoot Tech Ops, so that means I can have a scope on my rifle, an AR-15, and I have just open sights, just regular notch sights on my pistol, and then my shotgun is a semi-auto 12 gauge with a tube that I have to hand feed. Okay. So Like Derek shoots open, so he has a mag-fed shotgun, where he just has to change the mags. He can have an optic on his shotgun. He can have, a scope and a red dot. He can use bipods. He can use sandbags. I call that the cheater division.
So he's got all the go fast gear on his stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I want to take just a hint of a step back because we kind of jumped right into just talking about 3-gun. Mm-hmm. And you just alluded to the fact that you use an AR, a pistol, and a shotgun. I think maybe we ought to take a second for people that aren't versed with 3-gun to say, what is 3-gun?
Yeah. So you've got a pistol, rifle, shotgun, and it's kind of like an obstacle course. I like the ones that are a little bit more physical, where you run and you see targets, and maybe they actually build obstacles in there. Like you have to climb up this ladder or a climbing wall or crawl through this tunnel, carrying an ammo can and your rifle. And sometimes you might start out with your pistol holstered, a rifle slung, maybe shotgun in hand. So it's going to be broke down in usually about 8 stages, and each stage is going to be a different course of fire. And
so on each stage you use all 3 guns though, correct?
Not all the time.
Not all the time? Okay.
Yep. Sometimes it might just be
a rifle
2 of the
only
guns
stage
and then 2 different guns. Yep.
Okay.
So sometimes...
Yeah, because I've seen some pretty sketchy stuff. I've seen like the unstable platforms where you stand on them and they're swinging and moving and stuff.
Yeah, some are hung on chains and you're trying to shoot slugs. The Army, actually, at Fort Benning one time, they dug a trench and lined it with plastic, filled it with water, and you were in a boat. And you had a rope connected to the end, and you had to pull yourself forward, and that would pull the boat. And then you would grab shotgun, and then you grab pistol, and they had fake walls, so you couldn't just shoot all the targets. You had to stop in between, and the boat's rocking, and that was the Rambo
So there's
stage.
definitely some challenges.
Yeah.
I think I've seen like zipline
Yes.
courses or stages. I think there's one here in Missouri somewhere that there's actually a stage that you sit in a chair that actually will rotate you upside down while you're shooting and stuff
I haven't got to
too.
try that yet.
So, I mean, there are definitely... You have to have some skills to be able to compete, and you have to be able to, maybe contain your nausea in some stages.
I've done
to
a roller
an extent.
coaster.
Really?
Yeah. So you climb a ladder, so it's gravity fed. So you start at the top, and then they push you, and then you're rolling through the tracks till you get to the bottom. It's pretty awesome.
So it sounds like you definitely need to check out 3-gun. Apparently I'm missing a lot too, so I need to hit up quite a few more of these also. But 3-gun sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah.
So in addition to 3-gun, there are many other disciplines for competition shooting. Do you do any of those?
I haven't yet. I want to start PCC just because it's really fast paced. And last fall I actually got...
So what's PCC?
Okay. Pistol caliber carbine. So
I knew what it is, but...
Yeah, so it kind of looks like an AR, but it's going to shoot a pistol caliber.
Okay. So like one of our 9mm or something of that sort. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
So last fall, I actually got first place in the ladies match. And so ladies come from all over the country, and we shot at Talladega, and each stage was a different discipline. So we had one stage is long range, and you use all their guns. One was long range, one was cowboy action. You had PCC, you had IDPA, USPSA. So you get to try a little bit of each one to see what you like. That's
really cool. I mean, that's a great way to get introduced to all the different disciplines because, every one of them also has different rules too. So like while they all kind of share a similar core, IDPA and USPSA and IPSC all have different rules as to, can you reload while moving or, just a lot of various rules that you have to be able to follow. So definitely look into those. And if you guys have local ranges that conduct those matches, you might check into them because a lot of times the first time you ever shoot one, they don't charge you anything to enter the match because they want you to come back and have fun. And it is a ton of fun.
Yeah. There's a good chance that people are going to be like giving you their stuff.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of people that have been like, hey, Mike, come out and shoot this. You can use my shotgun. You can use this belt, this gear and mag holders and all this stuff. They just want you out there. So... I think part of it might be the competition because they just want to show they're better than you when they wipe the floor with you come the end of the day. But
at least they know they're going to beat somebody.
Yeah, right. So talking about your training and how you're also conceal and carry and you do firearms training, with the volatile times that we are currently living in, I mean, have you seen a big change in the training? Like, as the demographic changed, are you seeing, more female shooters, more male shooters? Is that different than what you've seen in the past?
Absolutely more women.
Absolutely more women?
I would say a lot of times, I mean, I have half and half, or even actually more women than anything. And I don't know if that's just because it is increasing, or maybe just more women come to me because I'm a woman. But definitely more, well, I guess it is just more women are doing it, because when I first started, it wasn't like that. And
so is that going to be primarily for just the conceal and carry, or are you getting them for advanced training and stuff too? Do you do advanced training?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And so a lot of them, they come to the concealed carry just because they don't really do a lesser class.
Right.
A lot of them, they come and they're new gun owners, and they just bought their guns this year, and they don't even know how to take them out of the box.
Right.
They're afraid to even touch it because they think it's going to explode or something.
Well, I mean, that kind of leads into another question I was going to ask is, like, out of all these new, customers or students that you have, I mean, are a fair amount of them first-time gun buyers, like never touched a gun before?
This year, yes.
This year, yes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'll talk about the craze this year, and I'll talk about,
when we say this year, we're probably more referring to the last calendar
yes,
year.
The past.
So the last 12 months-ish,
yes.
Since the started.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'll talk about, how you had to stand in line for 6 hours just to get into a gun store, in Columbus, Ohio, and people were doing it. And, they didn't even know what gun they wanted. They wanted, like, whatever gun was left.
Yeah.
And, maybe 2 or 3 of them.
And so that's really bad too, just for the fact that you have somebody that A, doesn't know anything about guns,
yeah.
and B, they're just taking whatever they can. So now they're going to have to show up somewhere. And I have to give credit to your students there, because at least they are seeking instruction and they want to be better with that firearm, because I'm a very strong proponent of train. I mean, always a student. No single instructor is ever going to give you all of the information. Try to find as many avenues as you can and be able to have the proper mindset and skills to be able to face whatever might, the world might throw at you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely have to give the people credit for, trying to get information on it, because that's one of the downsides is you see so many people that just get a gun and either they feel safe because they have it in their closet and they don't know a thing about it. Familiarize yourself with your gun if you can. Find somebody reputable like Jen to go talk to and learn a little bit about it. You can always hit us up in the comments down below. I'm sure, even if you're not a student of hers, if you have some technical questions and she can answer, I'm sure she would be happy to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting her on the spot here because, when it comes right down to it, I think ultimately all of us we have the same goal. We want everybody to be able to support their Second Amendment right. We want them to be able to carry, but ultimately we want them to do it safely, and we want them to be able to use their stuff properly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, training is paramount. Everybody has to have some training. So.
Yep. I have a lot of women who come. I mean, maybe they don't want to hunt. Maybe they're against that, or maybe they don't think that they could even shoot a person in self-defense. Learning how to use a pistol just to relieve stress, and ring steel,
I'll tell you what,
for recreation.
That is a really good stress reliever. I don't think people really fully understand, if you've had a bad week or a bad day, just getting out for some range time.
Shooting is a sport, and it's a sport like that the whole family can do together.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to my boys' baseball games, I just have to cheer for them. Yeah, go Isaac. But when we go to a shooting match, like we go to little bowling pin matches, where you have to knock all of the bowling pins off of the table. So that's satisfying to see the pins fall off.
And much trickier than you would think, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Especially they fall and then they start spinning. And so,
yeah.
But yeah, we all get to shoot. We all get to cheer for each other.
Yeah.
And, definitely the better in shape you are, it's going to help, but you don't really have to be.
Yeah.
For some of them.
You wear many hats. You have a lot of things you do, and this isn't quite the fairest of questions, but it's something that the marketing team we came up with, and we're just kind of curious, or we're curious, what is a typical day in the life of Jen like? And I know there's going to be a caveat to this being depending on what you're doing that day.
Yeah. So my mom says that I work very hard at not having a real job. So I do all kinds of things. So
I do that too.
yeah. So I have Salt Creek Kayak Adventure. So I have a kayaking business where, I've got like 75 kayaks, canoes, and people come to me, and then I drive them upstream depending on how long they want to kayak, and then I drop them off and then hope that they make it back. And that's from about Memorial Day to Labor Day.
So it sounds like I'm going to have to be making a trip to Ohio sometime soon because I need to get some kayaking in.
Yep. And I have
Can you combine that with some type of shooting while going down the...
Where you exit the creek is my 5-acre shooting range.
Okay.
So,
but no shooting while moving in the kayaks, though?
I haven't yet, but okay. It's on my list. Like, I have
okay, everybody. Remind her she needs to have some type of kayak shooting adventure.
Yes. That's going to be, my next YouTube video. That's going to be video number 2.
Video number 2. All right. We have to hold her to that, all right? All right, so I'm sorry. I kind of interrupted there.
I have a couple of rental houses, and so I take care of that. And we actually just purchased a little 20 by 20 shack cabin thing up along the creek, and we've been learning how to fix that up. And so I use YouTube a lot to learn how to whitewash, and how to build a deck. YouTube has
become quite the tool for people to be able to learn stuff. So, so you've got your kayaking, you've got rental properties, you're doing some home improvement.
But my main thing is I got 2 boys that are 10 and 11. So
full-time mom.
Oh yeah.
And then competition shooting, instruction, and all that stuff. Yeah. So, do you ever sleep?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm good at sleeping.
That's a skill we should never try to lose. Yeah, the older I get, the more I appreciate sleep. So
I just told someone yesterday, it's either my superpower or it's my weakness, because I can just sleep anytime.
I can relate to that. So this is kind of a fun question because this is a question that some of our viewers have asked me, and I don't know if I'm going to divulge my answer to it just yet because I think it's going to be coming in an upcoming Q&A, but I am going to go ahead and ask it of you.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to put a lid on this anywhere, so there are no boundaries, with the exception of nothing fake. What would be the bucket list gun for you to have? Anything. I don't care if it's full auto, historic, military grade, anything of that sort. If it exists, and I'll be a little loose on the terms of firearm, but if there's one thing, what would it be?
Well, I'm pretty fond of Sherman tanks now, so that way I could drive it and shoot it, park it in the garage and run stuff over.
When somebody asks how much do you support the Second Amendment, we should be able to own tanks.
Yeah.
I fully believe we should be able to own tanks. So, all right, so tanks. So now that brings me to the fact that I really, really, really need to publicly apologize and ask your forgiveness once again. I'm not going to share it now because I feel so bad about this, but I took a horrible picture of you at Drive Tanks at the Gundy's down in Texas. But the picture was during an incredible moment. Mm-hmm. I got to bear witness to Derek, her now fiance, proposing to her. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so we were down at the Gundy's and we were on the range all day shooting all kinds of stuff and full auto. And then at the end of it, they called the range cold and Jerry Michalik was going to fire a tank. And they came up to me and said, we did a raffle and you won. You get to shoot the tank too. I'm like, what? So I felt kind of bad because why do I get to shoot it? I felt like everybody was going to be jealous. And so I go up there and I'm getting ready to fire the Sherman tank. And as soon as I rip the cord, my hair blows back, from the blast. And I turn around and Derek was down on one knee. So
she got to shoot a tank and get proposed to virtually at the same time. And I am such a jackwagon. I didn't realize what was going on, and I'm sitting there on my knee filming this entire thing, and Derek just gets right in front of me, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you're in my way."
Wait, so you were down on one knee also?
Well, yeah. For a totally different reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was down, I was trying to be low so people could film behind me, and he steps right in front of me. I'm just like, dude, you're in my way. And I didn't realize what he was doing. So hindsight, I messed up a lot that day.
It's pretty funny. Though.
So, again, I publicly apologize and I ask your forgiveness for the bad picture.
The worst picture of me ever.
And for being a jackwagon to Derek. But, you know, we got past that.
Yep,
and
look at us now.
Yeah. She's shooting a CMMG. She's here visiting and we get to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to say, hopefully look more in the future for her shooting her CMMGs at competitions. Hopefully you're going to see maybe me go visit Ohio and maybe do some stuff out there. You know, so if there's something you would like to see, you know, her do with the CMMG, her grow her channel, you know, anything that you would like to see of us, now's the fun part of the video. I get to say, you know, hit us up in the comments down below. Let us know what you would like to see. I have to give a huge thanks to Jen and her fiance Derek, who's kind of behind the camera over here, for not making us laugh too terribly during this video and trying to distract us. He's being way better behind the camera than I was down in Texas. So you know, guys, as always, it's been a ton of fun. I love the fact that I get to do things like this. Thank you for being a good sport and, you know, taking a little bit of time and answering some questions. And guys, until next time, as always, stay safe out there.